As a 6-time fitness champion, a mom of 2 who's been training for decades now, these are my top 6 moves for six-pack abs. For total body epic results, make sure you check out all my programs at susanaruda.com. I'm Susan Aruda. Let's train for those six-pack abs. We are taking it down to the floor, and for our first move, you're going to position the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall outwards. You're going to lift the lower body up and then the upper body, and then simultaneously both upper and lower. Make sure that you are breathing and exhaling as the knees come up, as the upper body comes up, and again, as you're crunching at the top of this movement. You are imprinting your lower back onto the mat as you breathe. Even when you are at the end of that movement, you are still keeping your abdominals engaged in order to protect that lower back. Exhale as the knees come up, exhale, and then squeeze at the top and crunch. Keep your chin off your chest. You want to look up at the sky, at the ceiling, and maybe even gaze slightly behind you with your eyes. Make sure you keep your elbows out to the sides, and you might want to push your head against your hands to relieve some of the tension from your neck. We are going to take it into a dead bug position. Bring your knees up and extend your hands, and you're pushing against your hands, and you're dropping one leg down and then back up and the other leg down. Keeping the lower back pressed onto the mat, and your choice whether you want to lift your head up off the mat. I find that helps me imprint on the mat, but if your neck is getting tired, you might want to alternate and let it fall down and just rest it on the mat. Make sure you're exhaling forcefully as that knee comes up, and you are keeping the abdominals pulled in tight and engaged throughout this exercise. Chin is off the chest, and you are focusing on the core, contracting those abs. Transitioning to our next exercise, we're going to take it onto our side, and we're going to be targeting the obliques. The obliques are responsible for flexion and rotation, and we are going to be flexing those obliques, working on the core. Position yourself with your hand extended and pressing onto the ground, and then isolate the upper body, and you're just going to be lifting and lowering the legs with control. And I have my arm extended, and you want to think of your body as if it's positioned between 2 panes of glass. So you want to be right on your side, and you want that top shoulder stacked above the lower, and stay in alignment. You want to really focus on the obliques, so lifting and contracting that side body. These are the fan-like muscles that appear in the abs on the sides, and we also want to have a nice waist, minimize the space in our waist and get a slimming effect. We're switching over to the other side here. Set it up and get ready and go. You want to exhale every time those legs come up, forceful exhalation, and be mindful of that shoulder. You don't want it to be coming forward and up towards the ears especially, so keep the shoulders actively pressed down and monitor your alignment always, and stay on your side and focus on that side body, the obliques. We are going to turn it over and position yourself onto your backs with your legs up, and we're going to do a reverse crunch, a hip lift. Now in this position, I like to have the backs of my hands against the mat so that I'm not using my arms excessively. I want to focus on lifting the hips straight up and then controlling the lowering of the legs. Now you want to make sure that your feet are not coming in front of the body, and keep them right over top of the hips ideally. You want them lined up, and you want to focus on the lower abs. So exhale as you lift, and then slow and control to lower as slow as you can, and try not to let the legs fall down. I know it's hard, so really focus. And again, you may want to have your head off the mat, which is sometimes my preference. Unless your neck is feeling tired, then yes, rest it. But you want to really isolate those lower abs, contract, squeeze, and now rest. We're going to take it to a bicycle, one side at a time. We're going to focus and isolate, and that's definitely one effective way to overload, is to just work on the one side. So I want you to twist and exhale. Your other foot is down on the ground, and I want you to think of twisting from the torso, from the waist, and targeting those obliques. Exhale as you lift and twist. Imagine that you're trying to get your underarm or your shoulder towards and maybe even beyond that leg. So we're not necessarily targeting elbow to the knee. Now, if you are advanced and you want to extend that other leg and keep it off the ground in this same single-legged bicycle, go for it. Again, in this position, you want to be mindful that you are imprinting on the mat. You are keeping that lower back pressed onto the mat so that lower back stays safe. If you cannot do that, you have to drop your leg back down and just really focus on the squeeze. All right, we're switching over to the other side. Set it up, and let's go. Keeping that leg on the ground, lift and twist. You may also want to look towards the side with your eyes, which helps you get a deeper contraction, I find. And again, get your breathing to work with you and for you. Exhale on that contraction so you are maximizing that squeeze. And exhale as you lift and twist. Again, getting that opposite leg off the ground if you're advanced, and if you can keep that lower back imprinted on the mat, go for it. Let's work it. Let's finish strong. We're going to take it into our final exercise, flip it over, and we're going to take it into a plank position. So set it up. Make sure you can see what your body's doing. Have a sideways mirror. Get onto the elbows, and here we go. We're going to elevate one leg off the ground and alternate. So this is just a lift and an extension of the leg as you hold plank. Plank is such an effective core exercise for strengthening the entire core, and you want to focus on having perfect form, pulling the abdominals in and keeping them earnestly pulled in, and you don't want any rounding of the upper back, and you don't want any arching of the lower back. So monitor, look sideways, make sure you're in perfect alignment. You're lifting and extending that leg not very high, but you're holding it in a single-legged plank for a moment as you alternate, and you're exhaling and breathing smoothly throughout this set. And keep your head in neutral position. So if you're looking sideways to check your alignment, bring it back down. You don't want to be looking up. nor down, neutral. All right, take it to a stretch, press it back, and we're gonna take it to my favorite ab stretch after training abs. It's Cobra. So brace against your forearms, and you wanna be lengthening through the front body as you energetically press the shoulders down and lengthen through the abdominals, the rectus abdominals. That should feel like really good. It's like dessert for your muscles. You don't want to miss the stretch, especially after you've trained them and they're so tight. If you want to take it up to your hands, and you can, and this is part of your practice, then go for it. And just, never neglect the stretch. And way to go. You did it. Keep at it. And be consistent and stick with it.